Con. So basically, how we were saying is, we start really going into how how Esau destroying the earth, man. You know how they are playing everything. And that's why the Most High say in Isaiah 14, hey, when they knock out the rulership, to see that even the trees gonna rejoice. Everybody gonna be happy because they destroying the earth, right? So he says the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish, right? And the word language, not mistaken, it just mean like weaken, right? Let me search it up real fast. Yeah, so the word language means, right? At least I can see it. Mean weak, feeble, right? Making it weak, right? So get back to it. Isaiah 24 verse 4, right? It says the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languish and fadeth away. The hard people of the earth do languish, right? The earth is also defiled under the inhabitants under the inhabitants thereof, right? So we know, Esau, they destroy everything, he said, because they have transgressed the laws, right? They changed the ordinance and broken the everlasting covenant, right? And this goes into, Elder Pastor Ramla was breaking this down. This goes into, he did a lesson on the earth Sabbath, right? Go to it real fast, so I don't quote it wrong, but in Leviticus, I want to say, go to it real fast, but the earth Sabbath, right? So we know on the earth got a Sabbath. So on the seventh year, you don't post when the fruit grow on the trees, then next you don't you can eat off of it, but you don't post to like take it and put it in your barn, things that nature. You don't supposed to gather it up. You don't supposed to be out there still out there trying to plow the grass, do all that things of that nature, right? Because the earth got its own immune system. The earth supposed to replenish itself. But you see Esau, they out here every damn day. They doing this shit every day, right? He's even going to how the worms, they dig worms up to go fishing, right? And this is the point I was talking about that day. How he was talking about how that's unclean, right? It's unclean how they, but everything it works together, right? Because I think the doo-doo that the worms let off, that help replenish. It got its own immune system, right? But that's why I said earlier everything got its course because Esau destroying everything, right? They farming every day. They destroying the lands every day, even with the pollution, right? With the oil, say they go dump the oil in the water. He was talking how they go dump that in the water, right? And they get like $100K fine, $100K fine, right? But they making millions of dollars off this, so $100K ain't nothing to them. Right? They giving that up easy, you know what I'm saying? But that just show how Esau be destroying this earth, man. That's how they do it, man. Good.
Appreciate it. Unless you
no, you good.
This is Second Ezra 14 and 16. This is Second Ezra 14 and 16. It says, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen shall be happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age. Such the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. Right. So again, the world is going to get worse and worse, man. Like you said, Esau Edom ain't doing chopping down the trees. Like when you got to think, if you see like pictures of how the earth used to be, you know what I'm saying, way back when, and how could we know how it looked, you know what I'm saying, on the days that Adam, Abraham walked on the earth. It was probably beautiful, you know what I'm saying. But now you don't see nothing but a bunch of industrialization. You see all these buildings, pollution, all these things, right? You got these trees, these single trees right here in front of us. They look, you know what I'm saying? They look like they're going through a rough time, which they are because of Esau Edom, man. This is probably nothing but green grass, just a green land all through there, man. But Esau Edom want to, they that's just the spirit they in, man. Just destruction. That's their spirit.
Book of Sirach 10-8, man. That's why this kingdom gonna be translated to another, right? Because all the iniquity, all the horrible things that are done to it, right? But I found that by the land Sabbath, right now I go into a little bit Leviticus 25, right? It says, the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, and said unto them, when ye come into the land which I give with you, right? The land, you gave the land of Canaan, right? He said, and then shall the Lord keep. Then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord Yahweh. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years shalt thou prune thy vineyard and gather in the fruit thereof. And prune, that's what I was saying earlier, like they go out there, you cut it off, right? You know what I'm saying? You got the tree right here that's going, you cut it off, you gather up their fruit, gather up their food, gather up things of that nature, right? He says, but in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for the Lord, Yahweh. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. That which groweth of his own accord of thy harvest, thou shalt not reap, right? Neither gather the grapes of thy vineyard undressed, for it is a year of rest unto the land, right? So, like I was saying earlier, right? So, when it grow on the 7th year, you can still eat of it. Like, you can still go out there, apple. You can still eat it, but you don't supposed to gather it up. You don't supposed to be out there trying to plant and produce more, because it's going to grow on its own, man. It's going to reproduce on its own. But, like we were saying, Esau don't, when you go back to Isaiah 24, 25, right? And that's why it says, the earth is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, right? They transgressed the laws. They don't buy about nothing that Yahweh said. That's why the brother, what he just brought out, man. That's why as it get older, man, it's gonna continue to get destroyed. Like, as long as they're in rulership, man, this shit gonna continue to get destroyed. Because also, like the brother Isaiah said, man, they like a plague, man. They cause everything to be sick, man. They come with all these diseases, come with all these things destroying the earth. You got all this pollution going on with these factories and things of that nature. And it really made me think of it's crazy. I was just watching this, the movie Lorax. I watched it with my son out here in New York. It's crazy. I was just thinking about that, man. How he cut down all the trees, and all the animals, they got to move out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. I was really watching that with my son. But though, that's how Esau is, man. They destroy everything, man. They messing up the earth's course. They knocking it out of course. That's why, it's bad out here, man. The air you breathe, that shit getting bad. All type of things, man. They just wicked all around, man. Once again, Sirach 10:8, man. That's why this earth's got to be. That's why this kingdom be translated to us, man. We gonna be the next leadership. Romans chapter 8, if I'm not mistaken, 19, right? That's why they everybody line waiting on the righteous to get in to get back in rulership, man. They waiting on us to come back in rulership. We gonna rule the righteous, through Yahweh Shah.
Brother, somebody find a closing precept. This right quick. It's kind of Philippians 2 is just something to keep in mind always. Philippians 2, I think we brought it out earlier, or before campus. But Philippians 2:12, right? It says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. For it is the Most High which worketh in you, both to will and to do good of His pleasure. Do all things without murmurs and disputings, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High, without rebuke in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation, among whom ye shine as lights in the world." Like the scripture is saying, man, you already got your own salvation with fear and trembling. Like it says, that you may be blameless and harmless, right? And it says in the midst of what? A crooked and perverse nation. So you want to make sure that you do what you got to do, right? Not your own salvation. Trying to make sure you keep your house in order and cleansing yourself.
This precept, kind of go to the title of the hand, man. On something it's not, right? Say, man, on that reading here, everybody get a pop out now. They have a good time out here, man. Hey, so right here, man, you need to start paying attention to the side, man. You need to start paying attention to what's going on, man. Because you see, what I'm saying? Hey, spring, everybody, holly jolly, things of that nature, man. But hey, it's prophecy coming to pass, and things come to pass, and all the prophecy gonna be fulfilled, right? So Isaiah 34:16, right? It says, seek ye out the book of the Lord Yahweh and read. None of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth they have commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. Right? None of these prophecies gonna fail, man. And none of these prophecies gonna fail. Everything gonna come to pass, man. So you better pay attention to these signs, man. You better, you know what I'm saying? Walk circumspect. You feel me? You better be. What the precept say? It says, "Let your adversaries."
Yeah. Walking around.
Be vigilant. Be vigilant.
Sober.
Yeah, be sober. Be vigilant, man. You know, you gotta watch around you, man. Pay attention, man. Cause hey, and guess what? It also said, hey, Spirit has gathered them, right? You know, Most High gonna gather the elect. The Spirit of the Lord gonna gather His elect, man. He's gonna gather us up. But we gonna pay attention to these things. We gonna be vigilant. We gonna see the sign. We ain't gonna be worried about nothing that's going on down here. But we gonna be vigilant to the will of Yahweh Shai, understanding that the seasons are changing, man. And as the seasons changing, man, you better be ready to abide with it, man. You better keep your fire and keep going, cause hey, you don't want to get sifted out this thing, and you don't want to get caught up in that destruction, man.
Con. Hey, man, and with that, Lord, with this camp was edifying. Again, until next time, we like to close out by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to the Most High.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, and Shalom Scope.
Shalom.